What's going on with everybody, man? Welcome to a very, very, very late night stream. It is 2:22 a.m., May 3rd. At the time of this stream, be interesting to see who's up at this time, see who's interested in just having conversations about what's going on at Chelsea and other stuff that's happened in the world of football since I was last on stream. The last stream I did was pretty nice, pretty cool. We took a look at a old Chelsea game that happened in 2017, Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea, where Chelsea went there and actually beat Atletico Madrid in their first continental loss at home in their new stadium. Now, that was back in 2017, completely different team, different manager, different ownership, different players. But it was just showing people that what this club used to be, even in the days of Antonio Conte, where they were a season removed from winning the Premier League. A few other things that we're going to touch on in here in this stream that I don't know how long I'm going to go for tonight. Not really tired. You know, got a lot of stuff on my mind, and streaming, getting on videos, doing stuff like that generally helps out a lot. And I refused to do it earlier, and I think that was a mistake not to do that. But at the end of the day, you learn from mistakes and you move on, right? So first order of business we're going to get into here. And again, anybody that's tuning in at these late night hours, bro, I really do appreciate it. You guys don't have to be up. I shouldn't even be up at this time doing these things, but I'm here to make content. I'm here to see if people really agree with my opinions. I had a short uploaded earlier actually talking about excuse me, talking about how now Chelsea are sitting 10th in the Premier League, and how the outrage I still have at a lot of people that were Enzo Maresca haters and detractors, saying that his style of play wasn't great, he wasn't a good manager or anything like that. All I'm going to say to that, and you guys can check out my short on my YouTube if you haven't, I also uploaded a video just going over the preview for Chelsea versus Forest on Monday. I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it short. I think a lot of the people that were hating on Enzo Maresca really need to explain themselves now. I mean, even though the club has different issues at a different level, which I'm going to get to first off, you needed to keep him in place in order to actually make sure that the team itself, the ones that are actually trying to get the results on the pitch, can stay consistent, right? And because a few of the owners or a few of the managers that have come through have actually spoken out, they're no longer there. And now we're in a situation where we're linked with managers that shouldn't even be on the level of Chelsea Football Club. But if we get into this right here, man. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. So Bobby Fairview, Goonie, Johnny Minerals, and Eunice all did a collaboration a few days ago, going over the ridiculous financial situation that Chelsea find themselves in. And let me go ahead and show this to you guys if you guys haven't seen it already. Hold on, let me get a different overlay for this real quick. There we go. So we pull over here. I've done work with CFC Sid, and this is Bobby Fairview. If you haven't, check him out. He's done his due diligence of really digging and showing everybody what the hell is going on at this club, right? To refine his dashboard to align with the 22 Holdco audited accounts, Chelsea's supporters around the globe are coming together to expose the facts about this Blueco operation. This recklessness is unacceptable. Let's keep pushing. So if we open this, and I don't know if I'm able to zoom in. Am I able to zoom in on this? Probably not, but I'll read it to you guys. Actually, let me go ahead and download this real quick. I think it would be better if I just downloaded this. let me. Okay. So, what we're going over here, guys, is the ridiculous state that this club is in, right? So, from J.P. Morgan, right? J.P. Morgan Chase, it's one of the main banks in the world, if I'm being honest with you, right? J.P. Morgan, Bank of America Syndicate Senior Loan rate of 7.5 and 8%, secured by a floating charge over Chelsea shares. So, Blueco and Clearlake have this club on loan. They essentially pulled out a loan to purchase the club, and there's 794 million, I believe that's pounds, in debt. In debt, right? 595.9 million from Aries Management. Now, if you guys know anything about Aries Management and Eunice, and everybody talks about it very, very well here. Inter Milan went through this, I believe, a few seasons ago. They stepped in and they basically got the club back in order. These are the people that are going to hold Blueco accountable. And if we want Blueco out, they're going to need to be the ones to step in and actually get these guys out, because they're in the red. And when you're in the red, it means you owe, right? 22 Holdco have an 11% interest rate, and it's just going to continue to pile on and pile on and pile on. They're losing money by the day, right? And when you're wasting almost 2 billion, what more do we need to talk about here when it comes to this shit, bro? Like, what more do we need to talk about? They're almost 4 billion in debt, and they bought the club for, I believe it was at the time 2 billion, 3 billion, and you're 4 billion in debt. Clearlake never raised private equity, as they said. It's just a big fat PIK loan hanging out in the Cayman Islands. It's just a loan that is sitting there. And Blueco and Clearlake are doing absolutely nothing about it except losing money. And this is why we can't go out and buy players. This is why managers are not going to come, and billionaires that are going to want to buy this club are not going to come anywhere near it. Who's going to want to come to a club where Chelsea are in debt, Clearlake and Blueco are in debt? 4 billion in debt is nuts, bro. It makes me sick, right? And you see Feliciano and his wife, they're on the verge of completing the purchase of the San Diego Padres for $3.9 billion, right? I don't know the conversion rate from pounds to dollars, but I imagine you're spending close to 4.5 billion to purchase the San Diego Padres. Why? When this club is already in debt. Now, they have 30 billion in assets, as we have already talked about on this channel. And when you're buying moribund franchises like the San Diego Padres, you're not going to necessarily get any money off of that, because you need to be able to win championships. It doesn't matter what sport you're in. Now, in baseball, it's a bit different. They do have a different salary cap. They do pay their players a bit differently. But at the end of the day, when you own multiple assets and you're not putting in the necessary money to have this club be successful going forward, even on the business side of things, like, you don't even have a front of shirt sponsor. And I believe I saw this from another post or something like that. Let me see if I can find it here. I had it pulled up. Essentially, when you're spending this amount of money and you don't have anything to back it up with, especially with no front of shirt sponsor, you're continuously flip-flopping out of the European spots. You're buying players that are teenagers and that are never going to see the first team. This is why this club needs to get out, and the model's not going to change. It just isn't, right? And like I've been saying, like, players. I mean, this club needs to go out and actually go get the serious players. But I'm also on record saying that I understand that this club is not going to do anything until these owners get out. And this is why Aries management may be the only ones that can get these guys out, because they owe them money. And this is why, and I heard this in Eunice's video before I hopped on here, is that this is why you probably don't see Todd Bowley as involved anymore. Is there a possibility he got foreclosed? Is there a possibility he got bought out? That's entirely possible. These owners need to get the hell out, bro. And like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really in the best mood right now. And I don't want to yell. And I don't want to scream. I don't want to do any of that. But this club is being absolutely ran into the ground right now. And yeah, we have an FA Cup final in a couple weeks, or in 13 days' time. There's still 4 games left of the season to salvage some type of European spot. But realistically, should we just miss out on Europe altogether to continue to have Blueco and Clear Lake suffer? If I'm being real, I might be on board with that. This is why people are plugging other places to go buy jerseys, to go buy merchandise. Nobody should be buying anything off the megastore, bro. Like, they really shouldn't. And I haven't bought anything off the megastore honestly all season. I've been getting a lot of my stuff from third-party sources. There's no reason for it. This beanie is a third-party source. All my jerseys I've gotten this season have been through third-party sources. Why? I'm not giving a single dime to this ownership. And typically American fans are going to sit here and say, well, you know, the mega store should be the best option because now they have shit for 30% off, 60% off. Don't bite on it. The financial situation is in the mud, and we're finished until these owners pack up and get the hell out. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. They have to get out. And, you know, you hear stuff about like links with like Xabi Alonso and stuff like that. That man is going to want control over what happens at the club in terms of players coming in and out. How are you going to do that with no money? You just won't. You just will not do it. Right? So this is what I'm saying, man. I mean, if we continue to read these comments, audited accounts rarely tell the full story. What did you uncover? He uncovered how much of debt that Clear Lake and Blueco are in, bro. Like, this club purchased, I mean, these owners purchased the club with a loan. Now, Todd Bowley, I think, put in some of his own money in there, but he probably got bought out by Egbali. It's unfortunate because it's like I said, like, my issue really isn't with Todd Bowley, even though I think he does need to be also exited out of this, or he needs to leave as well. But my issue isn't with Todd Bowley. It really isn't. Right? I mean, I feel like he's one of the only co-owners of this club that actually gives a fuck about the club and where it's going. Egbali's not, and then you start seeing stuff about how Egbali isn't happy with the traffic on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call this site. It's like, why do you think that is? Because the fans are tired of it. You've done nothing but gaslight this entire fan base. You've done nothing but run this club into the ground. And then you come out in 2022, 2023 and say, we're never going to be in this position again where we're fighting for a Champions League spot. Bro, get the hell out of here. We're over here. Even last season, we were fighting for a Champions League spot because we had a bad patch of form, and then we had to go on a crazy run to get fourth. In the season before that, we had to go on a crazy run just to get sixth. And then we finished 12th in the first year of this ownership. We're going on 4 calendar years now, bro. Of the same mediocrity, the same bullshit, the same PR drama that we continue to read every single day. Like, what serious manager is going to want to come in here? And like, this is why I ask a lot of the people that wanted Enzo Maresca out, who do you guys want to go get? I'm for Cesc Fabregas or Xabi Alonso, but those guys aren't going to come if these owners are running the club the way that it's being ran, right? Like it's just not gonna happen. So this is why you're gonna probably see more links with a Kieran McKenna, bro, from Ipswich, and Donny Iraola. Like, do you understand how far we have fallen? That we're being linked with managers like this? I mean, shit, bro, I would even take, what's his name? Maurizio Sarri back, bro, at this point, right? Like, that's who I would take back at this point. Like, these are the levels that we have been subjected to under this ownership, because they just want a yes man, someone who's just going to follow the ownership structure, and the ownership structure is running it into the fucking ground. It really, really is. So it's unfortunate. It's sad that this club is where it is, because there's nothing that we can really do about it until, in my opinion, Aries management comes in and actually starts saying, where the hell is my money at that you guys have wasted for about 4 years? Where's it at? It's nowhere to be found. It is nowhere to be found, because they've wasted it on bullshit. They've wasted it on players that shouldn't be at the club. They've wasted it on managers that weren't fit to lead this team at all. Like I said, bro, Enzo Maresca was the best bet. Now we're stuck with being linked with Kieran McKenna, Marco Silva, who just got slaughtered by Arsenal today 3-0. Did anybody think that Fulham was going to go to the Emirates and go beat Arsenal today or yesterday? No. Right now it's 10:39 a.m. in London, right? It's 2:30. It's about 2:40 in the morning out here in California, man. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, these are the type of owners that we're linked with, man. And I mean, the owners, managers that we're linked with. You see, bro, it's 2:40 a.m. and I'm over here saying words, bro, because I'm just so tired of how this club is being ran. And honestly, man, it is affecting me a little bit. It really, really is, because yeah, I'm excited to watch the game on Monday morning. I really am. But it's like, what is there to play for in the Premier League? Like, my focus at this point, if I'm talking about the team specifically, is the FA Cup final against Man City. But we're not favorites, but you never know in that game. I'm not saying that we're going to win that, but you never know. You never really know. If they show up like how they showed up against Leeds and cut out a few mistakes, you never really know. Man City's trying to go for the Premier League, but they also want to try to win the treble. And that's entirely possible. They win the FA Cup and they win out. It doesn't matter what Arsenal does. At the end of the day, Man City have the tiebreaker, and they're going to probably end up winning the league. But you never know. You never really know. So, again, this club is in the absolute mud, bro. And to make it even worse, right, Chelsea now find themselves, at the time of this recording, they're now 10th in the Premier League. This post was put up before, I believe, the games kicked off yesterday. Chelsea now find themselves 9th in the Premier League after today's results. We can go 6th or 7th depending on Bournemouth's results in our game versus Forest. We've picked up 18 points in 15 games since Enzo Maresca left the football club. That's why I keep saying, does anybody really believe that we would be sitting 10th in the Premier League with Enzo Maresca? Does anybody believe that? No. I don't think you should believe that, because it just wouldn't happen. I miss Maresca too, bro. I do. Guys, we play Monday. We can go 6 with the win. Relax, Chicken Littles. Are you kidding me, dude? These are the kind of people right here that just enable the owners' behaviors, bro. They really do. Better than being in Conference League, in my opinion. Yeah. Xabi Alonso in, fire the sporting director. The model, what does that even mean? He has failed spectacularly multiple times. We aren't building anything really except for a terrible environment for our players. Yeah. This is why some players may want out in the summer if we don't get any kind of European football, bro. Because the Champions League is dead. That's not happening. Our best bet is the Europa League by winning the FA Cup or getting a decent position in the league. But the way it's going in the league, bro, and if I pull over here, right, I mean, for fuck's sake, Leeds United, They won yesterday, and look how far they are from Chelsea, bro. They're on 43 points, and they're in good form. They're unbeaten in 5 in the league. Chelsea, on the other hand, now we're 9th. We were actually 10th at one point. We were 10th at one point, but because of the loss that Fulham had in the goal difference, we sit 9th. But Chelsea, 5 straight losses in the league. Is that going to change on Monday? I said in my prediction, Chelsea are going to win this game 3-1 because I do believe we will concede first, and then we're going to find a way, in my opinion, to actually pull out 3 points. But as I've been thinking about it, and as I've been really thinking about this Forest team over the past few days, I'm worried. I'm absolutely worried that we're not going to show up in this game, and it's going to be a 6th consecutive loss in the league. And it's like we had 9 losses all of last season, bro, in the Premier League. We went 29-9. This team, I'm telling you, bro, may have more losses than wins this season in the Premier League, which is despicable, which is unacceptable. Now, is that Callum McFarland's fault? No, it's the ownership's fault. It's not even on Liam Senior, bro. Like, it really isn't. Because, and it's like what Eunice says, he's irrelevant in this. Now, he didn't help his cause, bro. He didn't help his cause by being the mouthpiece for the ownership. He really didn't. But at the same time, can you blame him for having a poor run of games? The team just looked mentally shot. They really did. And it's sad because it wasn't even, it had, what is it now, May? 7 months ago, we were flying higher than ever, beating Liverpool, having a good run in October and November. But once Moises Caicedo got that red card, and even after the Barcelona game, we haven't seen this team since. And it's sad. It really is sad, man. But if we're going to go over the Arsenal game, bro, they looked spectacular in the first half. And I hate saying that, man. I really do. I really do. They're set piece FC for a reason. But in today's game, they didn't. Their goals looked like they're all from open play. I saw the first 2 goals. The second goal in particular is exactly how Arsenal should be playing in the attacking third. Making runs, just moving off the ball, not just standing there, right? Victor Gyökeres, he gets the 2 goals. Bukayo Saka, he has a goal, and he does his whole that thing, and it's like he's hearing all the noise. He's hearing everything. Arsenal is hearing all the noise that they can't get it done. Do I think they will? No. I still think Man City are going to find a way to catch him, and Man City are going to ultimately win out in the league and beat Arsenal. But when you win 3-0 at home against the Fulham team today that, was poor, very, very poor, right? Very poor, man. And people saying that they don't want Marco Silva at the club. We all know that he shouldn't be there. So why are we saying ridiculous comments like that? And we already know what's going on. Like, why are we doing that? We don't need to. We don't need to say anything about that because Marco Silva is not the answer. And Donny Iraola isn't even the answer. Right? But if we look at the match report, Arsenal moved 6 points clear of Man City at the top of the Premier League with a comprehensive 3-0 win over Fulham at the Emirates, while Pep Guardiola's Chasers have 2 matches in hand, the first of which is against Everton on Monday. The Gunners set out a statement for their title intent with a dominant display. Making his first start since March, Bukayo Saka teed up Victor Gyökeres for the opening goal, with the duo trading roles when the winger made it 2-0 with the trademark near post finish, and that is his finish. Bukayo Saka does like to go near post when he does cut inside. Gyökeres clinched his brace with a towering header on the stroke of halftime, and Arsenal were comfortable throughout the second period, almost adding a fourth when Ricardo Calafiori struck the crossbar. The Gunners will now be keen observers when City go to Everton, while Fulham remained 10th in the table, 3 points off the top 6. Right, and then it just shows how everything unfolded. Calafiori had a goal chopped off, I believe, for offside. It could have been 4 or 5. Arsenal had chances in the first half where if they were a bit more clinical, it could have been a crooked scoreline, and it would have been absolutely embarrassing. And Fulham were just poor. And like this is another reason why Marco Silva would not be the answer. I mean, would he do better with a better squad? Maybe, but in my opinion, Fulham isn't that bad of they got some good players in their squad, but they're not Chelsea. But Chelsea are playing like shit, bro. We're on the same point totals, and for a reason, because we're dog shit right now, right? But again, if we peek at the table and the other results, you got Brentford beating who they played today. And then after this, I'm going to get into a few other stories I found interesting. Leeds beat Burnley 3-1, which now Leeds are now 5 points behind Chelsea in the Premier League. We're 5 points above 15th, guys. It's ridiculous. Brentford 3-0 against West Ham. West Ham now have to hope that Villa beat Spurs to keep them out of the relegation zone, which I think Villa will beat Spurs. I think Spurs will stay in the relegation zone after this weekend. Newcastle beating Brighton, and Newcastle were sliding down the table, free falling, just like Chelsea are. But I saw a few things yesterday where people think that Newcastle are going to be in a relegation battle. I think they have too many points at this point to be in that battle. But if a few more results went against them, then yeah, they would probably be in that conversation right now. They beat Brighton 3-1. Wolves share the points with Sunderland. Obviously, Arsenal won in a few hours, actually. You got Bournemouth hosting Palace, Man United versus Liverpool, which I will be getting to after this, and Aston Villa versus Spurs, where Spurs have to win that game. If they don't win that game, I think it's all but over for them. I think it will be all but over, right? And then obviously Chelsea hosting Forest at the Bridge, and then Everton hosting Man City. And if we can go into a quote from Bruno Fernandes here, I found pretty interesting, right? Bruno Fernandes sends a message to Man United fans ahead of return into Champions League football. I could have left Man United 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I could have gone last season as well. It was serious, but I really like to be at this club. And I really think that being successful at this club is something that I would never get being at any other club. Man United is special. The joy and everything I will get the day I get what I want from this club. So he's basically asking for, in my opinion, it kind of seems like he's asking for a new contract. I wouldn't get any of that in any other club in the world because I know how much the fans want this, how passionate they are. I know how much they're waiting for that moment to come back again. Bruno has told Gary Neville on Sky Sports, I'm in the same ship as them. I want this ship. Instead of being steady, I just want to go forward and to navigate this as much as we can together at Man United. So it's interesting that he's coming out and saying that. If Bruno would be playing for City or Chelsea or in Bayern, he could win the Ballon. Bro, if he was playing for Chelsea right now, he wouldn't be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. I think he would actually make the team a lot better, but he wouldn't be in the conversation for it. Bruno Fernandes is the player of the season, guys. He absolutely is. And like, I don't like Manchester United. My dad was a Manchester United fan, but again, I appreciate quality when I see it. And this is a guy right here that has absolutely smashed it this season. And to be honest with you, he shut me up with his play this year because I felt like with him, the way that he just complains and bitches at the referee, bro, is insane. But again, when your play is backing it up, you may get away with a few things on the pitch. And the way that he's playing right now, his vision, his shooting ability, his leadership on the pitch, which is something that I believe this Chelsea team is lacking when Reece James isn't there. Enzo Fernandez can only do so much as a leader or as a vocal leader. But Bruno Fernandes is showing it in his play. He's showing it off the pitch, and he's able to rally his team together and put them in the best positions to score goals. That's why he leads the league in assists, and he may end up breaking the assist record in the Premier League, which would, in my opinion, almost guarantee that he wins Player of the Season. So again, Bruno Fernandes, man, what a player, and just what. And in my opinion, if he finds a way in the next few seasons to get Manchester United either a Premier League or a Champions League, particularly a Premier League title, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Manchester United players of all time. He absolutely will be, and I'd be interested to know how people feel about that. I truly do believe that he will find a way to. Now, do I want him to lift the Premier League title? No, because Chelsea are in the same league as him. I don't want to see Manchester United lift any kind of silverware, really. But players are going to want to come play with Bruno Fernandes. People are not going to want to come to Chelsea in the form that they're in the way that the ownership is being ran. This club right here had an issue with their ownership, and they still have a few issues with the current ownership. Yes, but Manchester United are sitting third in the Premier League on 61 points, bro, safely in a Champions League spot, I might add. So there, yeah, the ownership is an issue at Man United, yes, but I would take being third in the Premier League right now rather than being ninth in the Premier League. Now, we have ownership issues up the ass, obviously, but still, I would love to be sitting third in the Premier League, bro. I absolutely would. I will snatch your hand off right now for that. But that ain't happening. So yeah, it is crazy. Let's take a look here. Actually, yeah, this is something I wanted to show you guys from Petr Cech, actually. Let me try to pull that up. So we go here, right? Petr Cech calls for Chelsea to change the philosophy. You have to change your philosophy. Certain things don't go together because in order to win a Champions League or Premier League, these are the really tough competitions. You have to be consistent. You need to have a strong core team. And then if we pull over here, all right, Petr Cech on whether he recognizes Chelsea. It's different. Maybe if I were there on a daily basis, I would see it differently. From what you see from the outside, I don't think you can compare because of the vision and the way the club operates, how they want to do things is completely different from how it was. And he would know because he was under that Roman Abramovich era of Chelsea where they were in it to win it. They were in it to win it, and they were winning silverware. They were continuously in the Champions League. You didn't have to worry about Chelsea being in the Champions League because they would find a way to get a top 4 spot. And then if they wanted some silverware that season, they won silverware. Right? It's just crazy, man. Right? Chelsea will always be in my heart, and I want them to do well, but it's a different club. And he should absolutely still be working there, but I think he left on mutual consent. He was the technical director, I believe, before these guys came in, but he saw the signs early and he got up out of there. Marina Granovskaya got up out of there, bro. Like the former chairman got up out of there, right? This club is being ran into the ground, bro. And it's sad. It really, 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 really is, man. And I just wanted to share this piece right here on like Xabi Alonso. Now I don't know how legit this man is right here. He is a German source, it looks like. So exclusive Alonso to Chelsea. Chelsea have open talks with Xabi Alonso. The condition also demands more control over sporting decisions, just like at Leverkusen. Yeah, I mean we already know that, right? But these owners aren't going to switch it up, bro. They just won't. So don't get your hopes up right now. Even though I'd love to have him, don't don't get your hopes up. Our next manager, bro, and you're gonna see this before the World Cup, in my opinion. You're gonna see here we go for Gary O'Neill. I'm telling you, bro. It it's gonna be it's gonna cause riots unless Aries management really steps in and they really try to get their money, bro. This club is in the mud. Right, and this is coming from Eunice as of right now. Petr check on Clear Lake strategy. And the focus on signing young players. You have to take a look at what you want to achieve. You can have young, talented players and you can win, but it's very rare that you manage to do that. If you concentrate on bringing young, talented players and make them better, that's one thing. But if you are to win every season and compete every season, that does not go together. You have to change your philosophy. Certain things don't go together because in order to win a Champions League and all this, I just read that, you need to have a strong core, and then you can bring in young, talented players who will go faster, and then will be by the experienced players to help navigate them through difficult times when they come. When majority of your squad is young and doesn't have experience with going through difficult times, they almost took a look at they almost look at each other and thinking, okay, who's going to help me? It might be difficult for them. You need to realize what stage you're in and what is needed. And it's like this guy says here, the only thing they're interested in is achieving money and from flipping players. How do you turn the best team in London turn it into a top 5 team? What is the reason? What's the reason for the downgrade in ambition other than 0 players turnovers? I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. It's insane, man. I mean, like, I just don't know what to really think about this, bro. Like, it's really, really sad. Like, what's going on at this club, man? Like, we're not even a year removed from winning the Club World Cup, bro. And we'll be going on a year, I believe, what, May 27th or 28th of them winning like the conference league, their first trophy together as a squad. And like the last thing you wanted to do, other teams wanted to do, was see this young Chelsea team actually win silverware. And that's when you kick on and go get the experienced players, but they wasted all the money. There's no money to spend. You're going to probably have to sell some players in the summer in order to fund moves. What manager is going to want to come in when they're selling the best players at the club? No one. No one. And it's really, really sad. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. out here, bro. But I'm still going strong, I can tell you that. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really sad, man. And I'll pull over to this, and then I'll get back into the Man United versus Liverpool, and I'll give you my prediction for that as well. At the risk of repeating myself, any manager coming into a massively disconnected environment with low trust and huge skepticism, that has to be understood, in my opinion. If the new manager anyway resembles a poster boy for our model again, unproven with potential, then any manager will have to fight for acceptance and respect of the fan base. And it's like, this is why you need to go get somebody that actually understands the club. This is why you need to bring club legends back into the club, bro. So that they can actually get the fans back on side. I guarantee if you were to bring a John Terry onto the coaching staff, I think some of the fan base might get back on side because like, oh shit, John Terry's there. Okay, then where's Drogba at? Where's a Thiago Silva at? Right? Where's Petr Cech at? Now Thiago Silva just won the Portuguese league with Porto, bro. Congratulations to him, by the way. He's out there still winning because he's a winner. He's experienced. Thiago Silva in the squad, I think, would actually help this team out a lot. So I don't know why I'm drinking that right now. Patience gap will be non-existent. Objectivity out the window, and any lost early days will be met with a level of disdain that isn't remotely fair in context of the circumstances. So, I mean, if the new manager comes in and he goes on a bad run of form, the fans are going to want him out. But it's not going to be his fault. Like, the players stopped playing for The players never played for Liam Rosenior. They never did, but he wasn't the issue at the club. All he was doing was just being the puppet and just spewing out bullshit that the owners wanted him to say. But then you finally saw him actually have character in his final interview as the coach of Chelsea, bro. That he had enough. He didn't understand the performance the players put out there. Well, bro, these players never believed in you. Like I keep saying, you sacked the wrong manager. You sacked, I mean, if they were talking about doing a review for him in the summertime, why didn't you just keep him on during the summer and then you do your review? I would have been much better or feeling better about Enzo Maresca leaving in the summertime rather than halfway through the season, bro. Right? Like, say he was able to find a way to get Chelsea into the Champions League and go deep in the Champions League and pick up another trophy. These owners wouldn't have anything else to really have to back up saying, oh, well, you don't have any control. The guy at that point would have won 3 pieces of silverware and got you into the Champions League for consecutive seasons. At what point do you start giving your coaches and your managers actual control of what players? Because I believe he was able to identify players and actually make them better. Moises Caicedo got better under him. Enzo Fernandez got better under him. Marc Cucurella got better under him. Reece James became a solid defensive midfielder under him. But he also tried to protect him. He was trying to protect Esteval as well. I'm just saying, man. Only winning will keep the negativity away. Only winning something big will lead to respect. Both hard, especially when working in such a hostile and disconnected environment. Right? It's just crazy. And if you want to see the post I'm looking at, go to Ben at Objective CFC and you'll be able to see this right here. It's just crazy, man. Right? Chelsea won't be appointing. This is coming from Max EFC Pice. Chelsea won't be appointing the next coach based on fan opinion. The temperature of the fan base is factored in, but Chelsea will go for someone that fits their structure and somebody they feel can be a stability builder. The view that fans will get behind the next coach is based on results, not pre-existing emotional attachment. The minimum is to be a regular top 5 club. This is the bare minimum, guys. This is the bare minimum should be getting into the Champions League every season. That's all they wanted to do. Is just be in the club or just be in the Champions League, and that's it. They don't want to win silverware. They don't want anything like that. Like, they really, really don't. But I appreciate people watching at this godforsaken hour. It is like the paranormal hour at this time, 3:05 a.m. So they do say that there's like paranormal shit that happens at this time. Have I ever experienced paranormal stuff in my life? Yes, I have actually. I've seen a few spirits in my time. I've seen the apparition of my dad. Not something that I'm going to go over on this stream, but it was definitely an eye-opening experience. I will say that. But again, guys, it just shows the levels that we're at here, man. Like it really, really does. To get back into the Manchester United versus Liverpool game, which at this point now is in 4.5 hours. Who do I think is going to win that game? I believe that game is being played at Old Trafford. I'll be honest, I think Man United are going to beat them. Now, I don't remember how the game went early in the season. I think they actually lost to yeah, Man United went there October 19th, 2025 and actually beat Liverpool 2-1. Goals from Brian Mbeumo. Cody Gakpo scores in the 78th minute, but then Harry Maguire, the unlikely source gets the game winner there. Now, based off form right now, I would give this to Man United, but in this kind of game, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And if we look at the table once again here, right? Liverpool are sitting 3 points back of Manchester United. A win would put them above them on goal difference. So, and they've won 3 consecutive games in the league. Man United have won 2 on the bounce. So, it's entirely possible. I think Man United do get the job done versus Liverpool, which in a sense would help out Chelsea's chances of catching them. But again, I mean, Chelsea go there next weekend, bro, and we're not beating them at Anfield, man. We're just not. Not with the way that we're playing. Now, if we put in a performance against Forest, then you know what? Maybe I'll rethink my stance on that. But even then, like the way we're playing, I don't see us getting anywhere near that. A win for us would put us back in the 6th above Brentford on goal difference. But are we going to beat Forest? Because Forest, oh my God, y'all need so much right now. Forest, right now, haven't lost in 5 in the league. The only team that has the same run of form as us is Burnley. We're in relegation form right now. That's how bad we are. But if I have to give my prediction for Man United versus Liverpool tomorrow at Old Trafford, I'm going to say Man United 3, Liverpool 1. I think Man United are going to make a huge statement tomorrow against them. And, you know, my sister's fiance loves Man United, always tells me, glory, glory, Man United. My dad's probably smiling right now because Man United are above Chelsea in the Premier League table. But I'm just being a realist, bro. Man United have been good since Michael Carrick has taken over. And sacking Ruben Amorim has completely changed their season. Sacking Enzo Maresca on Chelsea's hand completely sabotaged our season. We have a chance to finish 15th, guys. And that's where Man United finished last season. We're last season's Manchester United right now. Spurs were in the bottom half of the table last season, very, very low in the table last season. And they're in the same position, and they may get relegated. Right? So, yeah, I got Liverpool losing to Man United 3-1 at Old Trafford. But if we can talk about Tottenham for a second, bro. Oh, good Lord, man. Now, they have a very tricky game against Aston Villa. Aston Villa are going to probably get into the Champions League in that 5th spot. But they have it all to do, bro. Their last 5 games, 1-1 at Anfield. Oh, my God. 1-1 at Anfield. 3-0 to Forest at home. 1-0 away to Sunderland. 2-2 to Brighton, where they drop points in the 95th minute. And they beat Wolves 1-0. Take a look at their last starting 11. This is where Xavi Simons got injured in this game, and the ineptitude of the ineptitude, bro, of this team is crazy. But if we take a look at their last lineup, it's Wolves lineup. Spurs, Solanke, Simons, Gallagher, Colomwani, Basuma, Rodrigo Betancourt, Jet Spence, Mickey Van de Ven, Danso, Pedro Porro, and Kinski. You're not going to see Xavi Simons for sure. But if I can take a look at their news. Oh, we're about to go on the Tottenham freaking part of this thing. It's going to cause a virus to my computer, bro. I just want to see their team news real quick. Actually, let me see. Because like I do want to go over their injury list, bro, because they have an insane amount of injuries, and it's actually sad. If I'm being real, it's very very sad. Because like I don't want to see, as much as I hate Tottenham, like I don't want to see players get injured, man. Right? Muhammad Kudus, hamstring injury. Wilson Odegaard, right? Looking like an ACL injury. Muhammad Kudus this season has missed 21 games, and apparently he's refusing medical treatment from Tottenham. He must have seen how. I mean, he was injured before. Probably Simon's got injured, but he must have known like these guys ain't gonna help me. I'd rather get help from a private doctor. Christian Romero looking like he's out. Actually, no. Yeah, it's looking like he's out. Xavi Simons ACL injury. We all know about that. He's not going to be seen probably until the second half of next season, man, which is sad. Vicario out, Sar out, Solanke out, Udagi out. It's crazy, bro. Like they have a shit ton of injuries, man. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think it's the end for them in the Premier League, bro. Like I really, really do. There's a world where Chelsea lose the FA Cup final, Arsenal win the league, and Tottenham avoid relegation. That doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't with me either, bro. All these Chelsea managerial news are a complete distraction and an absolute farce. Majority of the fan base couldn't care less who the manager is anymore. As long as these owners are still about what we all want to know is when is the next protest taking place? And yes, guys, can you guys like when is the next protest taking place? Honestly, because like on this side of the pond, like I would like to collaborate with some like American Chelsea YouTubers, bro, or whoever is a Chelsea fan out there, and just talk about the state of the club, bro. Because it's like, when is the next protest? Please, like I would love to know. Damn, he went in. So if you actually go to his Twitter, right, you can't view anything. And like this is the official Twitter of Igbali, bro. And you can't see anything because yeah. The abuse is probably off the charts, bro. Doing some research this morning, could this have been Blueco's play under the name CFC LDM, build a stadium elsewhere, rename and move? So if I were to go talk about the NFL for a second, right? So the Houston Oilers did move to become the Tennessee Titans in '99. The Dallas Texans became the Kansas City Chiefs. The Redskins became the Washington Redskins, who are now the Commanders in '37. The Cleveland Rams moved to LA, and then they moved to St. Louis, and then they moved back to LA in 2016. The Chicago Cardinals became the St. Louis, and then they moved to Missouri, which is the worst state in the United States, by the way. I hate that state. Phoenix Cardinals, and then the Arizona Cardinals in '94. Portsmouth Spartans to the Detroit Lions, relocated from Ohio to Michigan. It's crazy, man. There's actually a lot more to this. Look out for the red alerts coming. From incorporation on April 28th, 2022, the immediate parent undertaking the Blues was Investment Midco Limited, a company registered in England and Wales. On June 30th, 2023, Blues Investment Midco Limited sharing holdings transferred to Blues Investment Holdings LP, a limited partnership. That's insane, dude. We're in the mud. So a few other things, because like this financial talk, bro, it's really doing my head in with how bad it's being ran, man. So there's a few things in my likes I want to go over here. Here it is right here. 1.8 billion spent, 57 signings, no long-term front of shirt sponsor, less wins than Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Brighton, 10th in the league. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process. We're not the 76ers, bro, of the NBA. We're not. And they actually came back from a 3-1 lead against the Boston Celtics today, bro. And it was like, that's insane. Maresca would have got us UCL football. We hit the sabotage button on our season. Yeah, we did. Eden Hazard, the most solid. You're one of the best with me. In my opinion, man, these two are the... Eden Hazard, in my opinion, is the greatest Premier League left winger of all time. Mo Salah may be the greatest right winger in Premier League history. Could you imagine those two in the same team? I mean, at one point, they were. But could you imagine if Salah had stayed at Chelsea and these two were in the same team? Good Lord. That would have been insane. Just look at the Premier League table. One of my favorite residents on this app, bro. JNR. Just had a look at the Premier League table. Leeds, who yesterday guaranteed their safety from relegation and were celebrating it. They're 5 points behind Chelsea in May. When is the next fucking protest? 4 years into the project. Yeah. Which Chelsea player are you willing to defend at all costs? I'd probably say Enzo Fernandez right now. I mean, I'll defend Cole Palmer, but he's been shit, if I'm being honest. But as of right now, it would probably be Enzo. Because, in my opinion, he's one of the players of the season. I think João Pedro will probably get that. But if Enzo Fernandez continues to play that he's playing, he may have a case. He may have a case, and Chelsea fans are going to really have to start getting on board with that. Chelsea are ready to sell Pedro Neto, Wesley Fofana, and Alejandro Garnacho at the right offers coming. All three of them need to be sold in the summer, to be honest with you. McFarlane on Enzo and Co. going to Madrid to watch tennis. We gave the lads 3 days off, and I think it says a lot about the lads that they spend time together. They have gone to Madrid to watch tennis. I don't see an issue with that, to be honest, and there is an issue. Fans want to speculate. Fans want to make up rumors that aren't even true, bro. So, that's how I see it, man. If Spurs get relegated, Chelsea need to go after Christian Romero ASAP. I would rather just go after... I mean, he wouldn't be a bad option, to be honest. I mean, we need center half help, bro. We really do. I mean, I cannot believe I'm up at this godforsaken hour right now, bro. Like, I really, really can't. And I haven't even really been showing it because I'm probably just going to stay on the face cam for a little bit. What's going on, man? How you doing? It's pretty late out here on the West Coast. What are you doing up at this hour, bro? What are we doing up at this hour, man? Explain thyself. Fine. Hey, I appreciate it, man. You're French? So I imagine... Are you from France, or are you in America? It's 1 p.m. Okay, so you're out there in France. So which team do you support out there in France? Are you from Paris? Or are you a Strasbourg fan, bro? Because if you are, then we're going through like the same issues, man. You're from Bordeaux. Okay. Are they still in Ligue 1, bro? Because I don't pay attention to the French league like that. Are you guys still in Ligue 1, or did you guys get relegated? But what are your thoughts on what's going on? No, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it sucks, dude. I mean, I'll be honest, bro. Chelsea may end up in that position in a few seasons, bro. If it keeps going the way it's going. I mean, Spurs are in the relegation zone. Chelsea may be next, bro. Honestly, do you see your do you see you guys coming back up anytime soon? Like, I appreciate the game. Were you streaming Black Ops 4? I haven't played Black Ops 4 in a long time, bro. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, Black Ops 4, like Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yeah, I haven't played that in years, bro. When I was playing it, I think I was like Prestige Master in Zombies, but I didn't get to Prestige Master in multiplayer. My stream shows Black Ops 4. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Let me take a look at that. Is this on Twitch? Interesting. Oh, you know what? I think because I actually haven't updated my Twitch in a while in like what I actually do on there now. At one point, I was streaming games and I was talking about games a lot, but the only reason why I don't stream games now is because it's just the toxicity on there, bro. And it's like I'm not trying to. I'm just not trying to deal um, with people being on there like to just like cause issues. And the way that I play games and stuff like kind of pisses people off, honestly. But I do have Call of Duty. I just haven't played that shit in a long time, bro. Because Call of Duty is in the mud, man. Like the state is terrible. But can I get your thoughts, bro, on who do you think PSG actually goes back to back in the Champions League, bro? I think Bayern Munich are going to beat them honestly on Wednesday. But yeah, I think Black Ops 4 Zombies, bro, was one of the better zombies experiences yet. I mean, you think they will? Yeah, I mean, they're exceptional, bro. I mean, they're good. That 5-4 game, but I don't really love PSG. I imagine you. Oh yeah, you're a Bordeaux fan. I imagine so. There's no love lost there, but they're really the only French team that can actually go deep in the Champions League, man. Honestly, I think I remember at one point. I think it was a few seasons ago. You guys were actually pretty decent, but did you guys go down because of like financial issues, or is it because you guys just don't have the players anymore? Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Both, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I know you guys, French football in general. I know you. I know the fans there are. I mean, I know the fans there can get pretty crazy, but now they don't get any money. I mean, there's no exposure really in Ligue 2, right? I hope I said that right. So they can't afford new players. Yeah, Chelsea can't afford any players either because our owners are fucking shit, bro. Strasbourg are dealing with the same ownership as us, bro. And they actually slid out to London and they partaked in that protest on April 18th. But what do you think about the World Cup, man? Who's gonna win the World Cup? You'll probably say France, which I don't blame you. France, yeah. I mean, are they going to get to a third straight World Cup final? I think honestly, with the expansion of 48 teams, I think a lot of the big nations are going to get knocked out in like the round of 16, bro. I think this World Cup is we're in for insane runs in my opinion. Like the United States, bro, I think we get to the round of 16 and we get absolutely blitzed. like torn up. And it's like I said, bro. I think that the U.S. needs a major reset, just like Chelsea. Like they need a major reset, bro, because we're both institutions are in the mud. Yeah, I'm American, bro, and unfortunately, I'm never gonna see this team lift the World Cup in my lifetime. The closest they came, I think, was like 1930, and they got third place, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. The U.S. is never gonna win a World Cup. As long as these European teams are continuously getting better and the South American teams are continuously being competitive, and even the Asian teams and even the African teams are just surpassing us because we don't take this sport seriously at all. We're so focused on the NFL and the NBA, but it's like, and like, I love my basketball, I love my NFL, right? But football, soccer is my passion, bro. It really, really is. And like I would want people like if there's French people out there that are that more French people, more European people that are watching me, understand this that like American fans do have a good perspective on the game, but you just have to talk to the right ones, right? I'm one of the people that actually understands the game. I played it for over 20 years and I've watched it for about 25 to 26 years, bro. You think Spain is going to win the World Cup? I mean, that's not a bad shout, bro. I said Brazil was going to face England in the final, but honestly, like after thinking about it a bit more, I don't think Brazil is going to get to the final. They may not even get to like this semifinals in my opinion. I think right now, as it stands, I think the last four is going to be Portugal, Spain, Argentina, and one African team. That's how I see it right now. I wouldn't mind seeing Spain versus Argentina in the final. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But you're French, so you would probably want to see France versus. I mean, I think France versus Spain would be insane, bro. Right? Like I think France versus Spain would be insane. I think Argentina versus Spain, like I said, would be insane. The African team I have in the semifinals, Senegal. I think they're gonna get there, bro. I think they have a shot. I think they have a good team. Morocco, they got there 4 years ago. Yeah, man. I appreciate you chiming in. If you haven't, drop a like, drop a follow. I really appreciate it, man. I do appreciate the engagement. It does mean a lot. But yeah, man, you too. I'm gonna probably go to sleep soon. It's 3:30 in the freaking morning out here, and I need to get some type of sleep. I got a pretty big day tomorrow. Got a celebration of life to go to, and some other stuff with the family I need to take care of. But I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on here. I'll probably go on for another 15 minutes or so. Night, bro. We'll see you in the next one. I usually stream every day, so we'll see you in the next one, bro. All right, I appreciate you chiming in. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm actually getting pretty drained up here, bro. I've been on for about an hour. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm gonna probably go ahead and get off here. I've been on here for close to an hour. I do need to get some sleep. I did work and stuff like that. But again, man, I do appreciate people chiming in at this hour, coming in at this hour. Maybe I'll do a few late night streams in the future, but tonight is just one of those nights where I felt like I needed to get on stream and just try to clear my head a little bit. Um, I'm gonna segue from sports for a little bit here and just talk to you guys again about, you know, there's a lot of stuff that in my personal life that I'm dealing with right now. And jumping on here gives me a chance to just forget about it for a second and really just try to process it in my head as I'm talking to you guys about this sport that I love the most. But I'm going on a journey within myself here. I've had a lot of issues with smoking marijuana in my life, about 14 years of it. And I'm going on my now third week, 3.5 weeks now, where I've been sober and I've been really enjoying it. Now, there's days where I'm not feeling it because, it used to be like my coping mechanism in a sense. Now it's just like I'm just jumping on stream. I do smoke vapes and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, that's not good for you. But the way that I was doing it, it's been affecting a lot of people, and I need to start taking accountability for those kind of things, and this is why I'm making that change. And also with um I'm also expecting a kid at the end of the year. And one of the things I need to do for myself here is make sure that I'm mentally right when my first kid comes. I have a stepdaughter and I love her to pieces. So getting on here and doing all this, hopefully one day I'm able to get monetized. I'm able to really get my voice out there a bit more so people can actually hear what I have to say about the sport. Now it's a crazy hour and you know, I haven't really been I've been jumping all over the place with what I've been talking about, but it's just me trying to get my mind off a lot of stuff now. But again, I do appreciate people jumping in here, chiming in and stuff. I will say, like, if you're struggling with something like that, like any kind of addiction issues, mental issues, emotional issues, make sure you have somebody to talk to, right? Like, just make sure you have somebody to talk to and make sure that they're also supporting you. And I do have a great support system here. I do have a great family around me. And it's just something that I feel like if you have that, you shouldn't be making them feel like shit. Right. So if you're struggling with something like that, if you're struggling with mental health, if you're struggling with anything like that, man, make sure you go get the necessary help that you do need. Because at the end of the day, you need your family, you need your loved ones near you, and you don't want to burn those bridges. And I'm not one to get on here and apologize for anything like that, but I'm here to say that, like, I will be better. I have to be better, and there has to be some type of accountability taken given the situation that I find myself in. So I do appreciate people chiming in, people listening, people just wanting to hear my opinion on sports, football. And I want to know from people, like, should I expand my channel a bit more instead of just talking about soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, and go into other sports, or should I just continue to talk about Chelsea and about football and stuff like that? I would like to know how people are feeling about that. Um, it would be nice. Like, the feedback is nice because I am itching to talk about other sports at times because I do love my basketball. I do love my baseball as well. I do watch wrestling. I do play video games as well, but I feel like I would have to make a separate channel to talk about games and stuff like that. But um again, I just want to know from people watching if I should do stuff like that. If not, then I'll continue to just talk about Chelsea and football. But if you do want me to expand my horizons a bit more, let me know. Give me feedback on what I can do to improve the channel, what I can do to improve the viewers like experience while they're watching. And yeah, man, I mean, I'll do one last refresh on here to see if anything's popped up. Looks like Enzo Fernandez won the goal of the month for April. I mean, there's not really much to choose from. I'll probably take a look at that tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, nothing much. It's a crazy hour out here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here for the night. I appreciate people watching, the few people on Twitch, the few people on YouTube. I appreciate you guys jumping in and out. It means a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get some rest. I need it. I've had a pretty long day. And yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody. Have a nice night. We'll see